What up, what up, what up, you guys? Can you hear me now? Welcome in, everyone. It is your girl, Tahira, mother of the ages. I am a supernatural quantum healer and psychic investigator. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I am so happy to be here with you guys. Sorry, there's a little something called the mute button that I forgot to press. But anywho, guys, I'm so happy to be here with you guys. I am happy to bring you guys a reptilian birthday bash. This is what we're going to talk about. We're about to get into, take a little break from the other psychic investigation and let's hop and see what the greater wide celebrities are doing, because I'm here to tell you, I think they're doing something that they should not be doing. And I think it is in alignment with the 3-eye Atlas energy field that we find ourselves in. And I think it's in alignment of all of the creepy crawlies and reptilians that we have discovered thus far attached to these people. So this is what we're going to talk about. Guys, go ahead and shout out your city, your state, your country, all of that, your providence, your tribe, girl, whatever it is. Hype it up, hype up this chat. I am going to get started in a moment here. There's a lot to get through. Do I have some announcements? Oh, yes, I do. More than half of y'all to be watching my channel on a regular basis, girl, is not yet subscribed to the channel. So please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, guys, and put a like when you come in. No, seriously, guys, I put my heart, my soul, my passion into bringing you guys these messages, guys. So please do me a favor. Let's get this to 8K subscriptions and let's get to 10K. Let's grow. Help me grow, guys. I just want to thank YouTube too, just for, for this platform, because I would have never met all of you, and I would have never grown to who I've become to be. So thank you so much, and please subscribe to the channel, guys. That's what I wanted to say. And if you do want to book a healing session, guys, I remove entities for a living, and I'm also just a quantum healer, and so I read from the Akashic records, all of those things. So anything you need, there'll be some links down below, and you can book a session, which I have discounted into the end of the week. But if you have any other questions, just feel free to email me, instructions number 4 humanity@gmail.com. Dang, that's a mouthful. Okay. All right. You know that song that reminds me of? All right. Now, ladies, you remember that back in the day? Okay. Anywho, let's get into this. I'm being silly. I don't know why. I'm just feeling really good this evening. So I'm about to share a few things with you guys. Okay, listen. I'm just going to play the recorder. I got a lot of things to share with you guys. First and foremost, I just want to show you guys all of who was at the birthday bash for Kris Jenner, just so that you can get, you can kind of gauge, what is going on here. And then, we are going to get in it. So give me just a Yo, they don't want me to do this. They kicked me out, y'all. I'm back. They kicked me out and they erased everything that I had up here. So that just means it's about to get good. Okay. All right, guys, we're about to hop into the psychic investigation. I need to bring a few things back up here. And I want to share with you guys all of who was at Kris Jenner's birthday, because, this just was not any birthday. I mean, this was an extravaganza. It's definitely given one.
Saturday, Kris Jenner had her 70th birthday party at Jeff Bezos' house. Bruno Mars performed, but it was so loud that the police showed up and it got shut down. Here's everyone in attendance. Of course, all the kids are there, including Kylie. Kendall brought Hailey Bieber. Of course, Kim was there. Mother Meghan Trainor and Daryl Sabara. Queen Paris Hilton. Even Mariah Carey showed up. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Kyle Richards. Mark Zuckerberg. Alabama Barker. Vin Diesel. Scott Disick was there. Rita Wilson. Queen Kathy Hilton. Sarah Paulson and Naomi Watts were there. Liberty Ross. We got Food God. Tony Braxton. Gayle King and Oprah. Even Snoop Dogg. We got Sia. Vanessa Bryant. Of course, Courtney and Travis Barker. Troy Daniels. Lala Anthony. Payne Stewart. Justin Bieber was there. However, there's no pictures of him and Hailey Bieber together, which is interesting. They showed up separate. Stevie Wonder was even there. Babyface, Ryan Murphy, kind of looking scary. Even Tommy Hilfiger was there. Because this was in a neighborhood at Jeff Bezos' house and Bruno Mars was performing late at night, the cops did get called. And the entire party was sponsored by Dunkin'. They had Dunkin' boxes and donuts.
Look at the donut, y'all. We're about to get into this. I want y'all to pay attention to America Runs on Kris Jenner. We're about to get into this. I was so surprised when I saw the donuts, and when I play you the recording, then you're going to understand why.
Donuts, I say America runs on Kris Jenner.
All right. Y'all, I mean, it's given, okay. I know when you have money, power, and influence, then your birthday, especially your 70, will be lit. But, you know, you got royalty there. You got Prince Harry and Meghan Markle there. You had it at Jeff Bezos' house. I mean, anytime Oprah and Gayle show up, girl, you know what kind of circles, remember Oprah and the whole Harvey Weinstein. I want y'all to, I may not be able to say everything on this YouTube tonight, but we're about to get into Donut Gate is what we're about to get into. And you're going to understand why that donut was so very interesting in a moment. Now, the first thing I want to share with you guys is this. Last week, right? Remember I said I got a message about Kris Jenner. And I didn't know where this message fit, but I remember that and actually I record everything on my recorder. So I have it here and I have it timestamped of when I received the message. And the reason why that's going to be important is this, because, spirit just don't lie. And now it's like the messages are in real time. So I'm going to play this to you guys, but I just want to let you know that I got this on Wednesday, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday was November 5th. November 5th was Kris Jenner's birthday. Remember I talk about the source codes and how your birthday, your death date, your family members' birth dates, names, and all of this are literally holding key codes into messages and deeper truth. So I was catching one of those key codes to deeper truth. And I was literally channeling Kris Jenner on Kris Jenner's birthday. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and play this for you guys. One second. And let me know if you can hear this because it's really low on my recorder. But 1 second, I'll play it for you guys.
Jenner's going through some sort of like she was dressed in all black, like she was going to the black from head to toe. And she had hands up as if she was being scanned or like searched. I saw a scene of her laying on just like a stretcher, laying out on the floor or on a stretcher with like the mask over her face, like, if you're trying to get someone to breathe, to wake back up, to bring them back to life. So I don't know if she's going to have a health scare where she passes out, or if this is about her being judged. It also felt about her being judged for a lot of her dark deeds. And I'm telling you, her and Diddy are highly connected together. Kris Jenner is like, it's deeper than it's not like a madame of the industry, but she circulates things. I don't know what she does. She circulates things, or maybe even energetically puts things together, keeps things safe, puts secret deals together. It's something like that. And I think they're deciding what to do with her, right?
Okay. Did you guys hear that? On Kris Jenner's birthday. I was literally channeling this. She was dressed in all black. She was going through some sort of metal detector. Then all of us, and it felt like, see, guys, energy is all connected. Her hands were almost cuffed. Remember we were talking about in the last psychic investigation with Charlie Kirk, we were talking about the hands are so important, about how they want to take our freedom away. Well, it's very interesting. Kris Jenner was dressed in all black, like she was going to a funeral, but she was going through a metal detector. And then there was a guy in all black scanning her. She had an all black as well, but her hands were like cuffed like this. This woman is being taken in soon. I'm telling you. The source codes is coming. It's coming through. Then I got another image right after that. She was collapsed down on the ground as if she was passed out, fainted, or almost, you know what I mean? And it felt like something's going to happen to her. And it felt like there was a heavy judgment energy around her. And then I was pulling the words monarch, right? Like she's some sort of, and I gave in that clip, I gave an example of her being like some sort of madame, but it feels as if she moves things under the table. And when we get into the donuts, I think you're going to understand what I am getting at, what she actually moves under the table. Now, mind you, that was last week. I had never got a message about a donut. And I never knew that Kris Jenner had a party and that it was donuts until I looked at it today. I was like, let me look at some pictures of her birthday. And then bam, it was. Now, let me tell you guys what's going on. Every single person in Hollywood cleared their schedule to be at that birthday. This is unusual. Beyonce and Jay-Z, aren't they not supposed to like each other? The Kardashians and all? And freaking Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. When have you seen Meghan Markle around the Kardashians? Jeff Bezos and all of these people, guys, they were told to come there. They were having a meeting. This is what I am getting. And I'm going to tell you what the meeting was about as we start to get into the psychic investigation. But one of the things I can tell you for sure of what I got after the last video 2 days ago with Charlie Kirk, and we were talking about the entities that are hooked into all these people. Well, one thing about when you start to open up templates, you can see more about what is there. Right? So I remember one time I opened up the primitive template, and because the primitive mind kind of deals with the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Well, I was having a little bit of a fear of falling because I'm like, oh yeah, I got to close down the template, right? So no difference here. As we started to expand the energy and go into the different fields to see where these entities are hooked in, guys, I am telling you, the creepy crawlies are coming out. There's been so many portals open and wormholes, not just by the three-eye atlas, but what it truly is, how people are very inquisitive about three-eye atlas has allowed people to literally go through their own rabbit holes. When we go down rabbit holes, guys, we are literally going down wormholes and we are opening portals. So humanity has been opening these portals. Not only has the energy field and the veil is literally non-existent, right? You can see everything. What I'm telling you is that people very soon will be able to see into the fourth density, into the fourth dimension, where all of the creepy crawlies are, guys. And when I say creepy crawlies, I am talking about entities, right? This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about entities. And we're going to talk about the donuts and how it is all connected, because I got a separate message about donuts and about entities. And then we're going to tie this thing all together, do some automatic drawing, and we're going to see who in this party would love to talk and explain what is happening behind these doors. Why were they all called there? And why were they all led there by a proposed 70th birthday party? And why does Kris Jenner look like she's wearing a brand new face? Is this some, baby foreskin, or is it something else? Because remember, I've been talking about this for a very, very long time, guys. So what I want to do is I'm going to play to you guys this kind of, it's like 2 minutes. And I was seeing all of this in the spirit, and listen up for the donuts, okay? All the entities have come out. I'm not sure if it's Three-Eye Atlas or if it's just so many portals have been open, but I started seeing entities everywhere. Like, for instance, I saw an image in my mind's eye of a donut, and then I saw an entity kind of like, it looked like, I don't know, like a squid, a spider, but with like more legs, and it was just like crawling, like, you know, on the side of it. Then I saw eggs. Spirit showed me eggs, and then I saw a really dark entity attached to eggs, and I looked at the entity's eyes. The eyes were like the texture of the yolk. So there's something within the yolk, like I'm telling you guys, they are transforming all of our food into entities. Now, obviously, you look at it and be like, oh, no, it's just an egg. It's just, you know, the donut. It's just the pear. No, it's because they are genetically modifying these things. And when you genetically modify, you literally let in other DNA. They are introducing other DNA and DNA strands into the food. And then that is what's being mass produced. So we've been, like, humanity has been running off of a false code. Our food has been running off of a false genetic code. And they are, reproducing in nature, but they are. Okay. The important thing is I wanted to show you guys that. Now, mind you, I had not seen anything about any donuts. I had not seen anything about any kind of donuts. However, this morning, this is the message that I got, because I normally channel things when I'm in my sleep state and early in the morning. This is what I got. And I saw how I articulated it was like a spider, but now I realize it was a massive parasite on top of the donut. And it looked like it, I kid you not, it looked like a sprinkled donut from Dunkin' Donuts.
Saturday.
Hold on, from Dunkin' Donuts. And then, guys, I went and I said, let me go, and because I wanted to do the video about Kris Jenner. And I said, well, let me go look at some pictures. And lo and behold, this thing is literally sponsored by Dunkin' Donuts. You can't make it up. So Source was leading me from literally her birthday, when she was dressed in all black. She was passing out. She's being judged. They're about to take this woman away. This may be her send-off bash, so to speak, birthday bash. And her and Diddy, they have some very ill doings together. But nevertheless, Dunkin' Donuts sponsored this. You can go on Google and see everybody eating Dunkin' Donuts at the party. And it says, America runs on Kris Jenner. Baby, this ain't no accident. This verbiage is no accident. And guys, I have to point it out. It has Erica's name in it. Erica from the last psychic investigation. I'm just saying, guys, you can't make it up. How everything is just like fits together, brings us to the next code to unlock here. So what I want to point out to you guys is this. You guys remember when Beyonce had that song, America Has a Problem? And on her last tour, I think it's part of her Renaissance tour, she's literally dressed in all white outfit, and it looks like newspaper clippings. And it says on there, America's got a problem. And what has happened since then? America has had, girl, many problems. America has had a rise in Nazism. ICE is running amok. We got our president just doing the most and replaced and almost hanging on to his last breath. respectfully. But seriously, these are all the things I've been channeling. And interestingly enough, the same day I saw Kris Jenner, I also saw Trump. I want to point this out and reiterate it because I've been saying this, but I want to say it again because it feels as if the end is near. Even though Trump has multiple clones, it has not been a secret. He's had these clones since the 80s. But here's the thing. I saw him in all black, and he was slunched down on the side of a building. He was wearing like a black, kind of trench coat, and then everything was black, and he was slunched down like the energy was running out. He had nothing more to give, right? And then remember, I saw the blue elixir, him being poisoned. That poison thing is coming through very, very clear. So when I'm telling you, when I bring the entities up, what I'm telling you guys, I don't care if it's reptilian, I don't care if it's hybrid, I don't care if it's a Luciferian, this and that, I don't care if it's a high-level gray, I don't care if it's a demonic parasitic queen. I don't care. The entities are coming out because the year, not just the year of the 9, right? But also too, we are fully emerging into the age of Aquarius where all things are revealed. You are seeing into the 4D and the 4 density. That little thing you see out of the side of your eye, the shadow and all of that, no, you're seeing into the 4th density. The 4th density literally is the shadow. It literally is the shadow. So you're seeing, you can see all the objects in your house, but what you're also going to start seeing is literally what else is coexisting in the space with us, but we just are not attuned into that frequency. But we are now being attuned into that frequency, partly because 3i Atlas is forcing us, and partly because we are going down our own wormholes and rabbit holes because we are now searching for truth, right? And the energy and just astrologically is just pushing us forward, right? So America's got a problem, right? We knew that. Beyonce was saying that. Let me see if I can find that outfit, right? Let me see if I can find the America's Got a Problem outfit so that you guys can take a look at it. Okay. It's not really much to see, but I guess I'll share it anyway. So it's about to get deep. And I don't even know, because like I said, these are just the initial messages, but then I just come here and I dig a little bit deeper, right? And so we're going to see what is going on. So here are the outfits. America has a problem. It has newspaper clippings, and I can't make out what's all on there, but it's just different events that has happened, right? And I want to say it also has racism on there somewhere, like just different things, but it's all clipped, so you're not going to be able to tell. But nevertheless, these people have to work for their master, right? They were already setting the stage for the topsy-turvy year that we would experience in 2025, because I think she started this tour either, I'm not sure if it was earlier this year or late last year, but nevertheless, these people are their advertisements. Remember how we watched the Truman Show? And literally Truman's wife was like, have some delicious cocoa. Literally, they are advertising to us. That is why they pay them the big bucks. They are literally walking, breathing advertisements, okay? So they've already told you America has a problem. Then Kris Jenner said that she runs America. Now, let me give you some things that I was channeling for Miss Jenner, right? I was getting Monarch, right? And I was also like this Madame energy, right? So at first I was thinking, well, maybe Kris Jenner is just peddling some, I even got to say it. Maybe she's just peddling, women from point A to point B, grown women. But then after the donuts, it started to get a little dark. I said, well, what is she the madame of? Then I look online and I literally hear to look up Donut Gate. I literally hear that, look up Donut Gate. And I was like, this is silly. It's probably, how Pizzagate, I was like, probably not going to be a thing. Well, I didn't find much on it, but I did find a few things. It's a thing. Donut Gate is a real thing. Someone says voodoo donuts. Yes. I found a video on voodoo donuts. This guy breaking down voodoo donuts. And I think this is like in Portland, Oregon, right? But I think they have them in different locations. Well, these donut shops and other businesses, they have tunnels that lead to the underground tunnels. The same tunnels they were talking about when the fires came in LA, and how some people's houses were spared and everything else was, wiped away. Well, and there were those people holding up those signs to help us. Like literally, these people have literally, how many more ways can they say this? Well, Donut Gate is a thing. And so now it gets a lot more devious, because I saw a donut, and what was governing that donut was literally an entity that looked like a very huge, it looked like a spider, but with more legs, or maybe possibly a parasite. But it felt like I was looking at the queen of whatever. So what I am telling you is what I truly believe, and we're going to keep going here. But Source Witness showed me that image, and then led me to look at pictures of Kris Jenner. And then when I looked up Donut Gate, it's a real thing where they are literally taking little ones. And I'm trying to not say all the words, but you know what I mean. They're literally taking them, and it's a whole operation. And it's just like the pizza. It's the same thing. And so I don't know. I'm kind of getting the vibe that when you buy donuts, it's given, part of the proceeds go to the kid trap. This is what it's given. And that is why I was channeling the Madame. And that's why she's in all black. And maybe too, that's also why I saw Trump. And I know that the orange man has been real bold. But do you remember back when the orange man said that he was fighting for the kids, and he said that he was going to put all these people in jail? Well, that didn't really happen, and we didn't ever get the F-files, but maybe there is some back alley things being done. And what I saw with the image of Kris Jenner, she was going through a metal detector, almost as if she's going to the metal detector to halfway to hell. And also too, someone is questioning, can I still trust you? Someone within the inner circle. These people were at this reptilian meet and greet because they need to prepare for our third eye. This is Source ain't never lied. They have to prepare for our third eye. How are they going to hide now? They glitch all the time. Sorry, this just came through, so I had to change. I kind of had to change the subject. This is why they were there, guys. We got it all wrong. We were thinking that, oh, it's the governments of the world. They're the ones supposed to be cleaning up these people. No, you and I have been cleaning up these people. We have literally pressed them into one space. They are literally don't know what to do when our third eye fully turns on. And that's why they want to attack it. That's why they also had to cut the atlas off, cut the neck off. That's why Charlie, the whole symbolism there, because once we see, I am telling you, we're going to see these people shape. They can't hold form. That's the reason, thank you. The reason why AI is coming online more and why a lot of celebrities are using AI videos, because they won't be able to hold form no more. They will have no choice but to use AI, this and that, so they can still push their poison to the people. This is what I am saying. And that's coming through very clearly. And I also channeled Kris Jenner is working for the government. Much like Turning Point USA has been seized by the government, Kris Jenner is working for the government. Now, is she working for the Trumpians? I don't know, but I can tell you for the Bidens, from the Bidens and all of that, yeah, she did that. Every bit of that, she did that. It's given that. It's given that. And this is why it was getting monarch, right? She's like that's why the donuts was saying what it said. America runs on Kris Jenner. This is a weird, very, very weird statement to make. So think about that. America runs on Kris Jenner. What are they trying to tell you? Do you know what they just said? They literally just said, America runs off a child. That's what they told us, because in the year of the 9, they have to reveal it. They said America runs off a child. That's what it runs off of. So I want us to zone out. It ain't about big red and big blue. All of these people are corrupt. They're not for you because they are entities. Do you think they're going to give the leader of a free world actual freedom if he's not linked into all this stuff? You have to understand. Yes, some of them may have reptilians and some of them may be, literally Luciferians and demonic, different entity, but same program. Same program. So they have just told us what America runs off of. And make no mistake about it, she is working for the GOV. Okay? This is who she is working for. So now, I don't want to leave anything out, but I want to see if I can get some more messages, and then I will get into the chat. I see you guys coming in. Guys, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. And so, guys, Diddy was their fall guy. Thank you. That's why he got the smack on the wrist. Diddy was their fall guy. For all of them, they had to offer up someone. They had to offer him up. Was he really, going through all this and really in jail and all that? Yes. But they had to offer someone up because they knew that they didn't have enough allegations to make it stick any sort of long term. Diddy has a cell phone up in that pen. And with time already served, Diddy got about 2 more years left. Remember I told you guys a long time ago, I don't see him doing, somehow he gets out of this, somehow, some way. Because remember, he was facing like life in prison. This is a smack on the wrist. If they give him good behavior, he'll be out in 6 to 9 months. He's literally, they had a video of him. Someone took a picture of him. Ain't you supposed to be in prison? Why you want to walk? A leisure walk? Is this what they do nowadays in prison, the leisure walk? Yes, he's getting the red carpet rolled out to him. And people know that he ain't in there for a long time. Yeah, because they want to get him free, all the other inmates, so that they can start probably doing corrupt stuff in the jail. And they want to get their sentence lessened and all of that. So what I'm telling you is all of these people that were at that party, all of the people literally got to thank Diddy, because Diddy is the one that took one for all of them. And I'm talking about everybody, girl. I'm talking about Oprah. I'm talking about Beyonce, Jay-Z. I'm talking about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. All of them that was there. Every single last one of the upper elites that were there. There were some other celebrities which were not on the AA level status. But, I'm side-eyeing them too, because why are you there? Why are you amongst demons? But that's why AI is coming. They have to bring AI because they ain't going to be able to hold form. They won't be able to hold form anymore. That's why also too. And also too, we have been the ones awakening. Our third eye has naturally been slowly opening and opening and opening. They won't be able to hold form. They can't do it because when that camera flashes, as technology gets better and better, girl, it can't hide the reptilian code up in there. It can't hide the reptilian entity. So this is also why they must now move into the AI version. And probably, guys, why I saw the blue elixir. The blue elixir, remember I said that they want to poison Trump with, but it was both an antidote and a curse. So the blue elixir is part of literally sedating you, your full self, your consciousness. Who knows? Charlie, I'm thinking Charlie may have gotten a blue elixir because it deals with consciousness. The blue elixir, that poison I channel, it shuts you down. And then the AI program can run. So that you still have your avatar, right? Or sometimes they will switch you into a new avatar, right? But nevertheless, you are still there. Your consciousness is still there. Because regardless of what people think, you are alive still if your consciousness is here. If your body dies, that used to be the way we define death. Now that we know more, if your consciousness is still here on the 3D plane, you have not passed away. You've not, because literally all of your data is still present here, whether it's in your original body, in a jar somewhere, in a computer chip, wherever, you still here, you still up in here. So that blue elixir, guys, is what I'm saying. This, I'm telling you, this will be their tool. But I'm telling you that sucker is strong and it's dangerous. It is not ready for people to be consuming that. Because like I said, it was an antidote. The antidote is like, what do we do? Because we can't keep form anymore. The antidote is able to shut you down and turn you into an AI program, but yet it's also a curse because it's not tested. It's just, fairly new, right? So that is what I am saying. And so now we understand how the blue elixir fits in on a larger scale. Watch what I'm saying. You ain't got to take my word for it. Watch these people. You're going to start seeing. And matter of fact, we need to already start checking. See how many of their promos are not AI. See how many see how many of their stage shows start to be AI. See how much of their acting or whatever, singing or whatever, is not now starting to be AI. This is what I'm saying. Anytime a public, they need to show themselves in public, just watch out for the AI version, is what I'm saying. That's what I want to say. And so now, guys, Kris Jenner was born November 5th, 1955. I'm like, dang, girl, that's a lot of fives. That is a lot of fives, right? So then we got 11 and then 555, right? So now I just want to show you guys who else was there. I'm going to show you guys who else was there. Now I don't know if I should mute this one or not. Yeah, I'm going to just mute it because I don't know if I can actually show this, but I just want to show you guys who else was there. Who else was there? Yeah, so let's see. Beyonce's there. You never thought you'd see Beyonce, Miss Tina, and we know about Miss Tina. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, girl. When? In what world? Oprah. Adele. Mariah. Really? And Snoop. Mariah never go nowhere. Hold on. Hold the what? This is the Facebook guy. And then before that, Bill Gates. Did you guys see Billy? Did you see Billy boy? Bill Gates. And then we got Mark Zuckerberg. Girl, all of the reptilians came out for this meet and greet. Lord. Jeff Bezos and his wife. And that was at their house. Alicia Keys, Justin Bieber. Yeah, talking about the white substance. Poor guy. But did you see how, Haley, did you see how there's Jay-Z, a bunch of other people. Did you see how young Kris Jenner is looking though? Like, we need to examine this. Now we understand. It's been the donuts all the time. Every time we go pick up that those half a dozen off donuts on Friday for the office party, that's where your money's going to. Look how young she looks. Okay, look at that. I'm done. I'm absolutely done. Do you guys see that? And so remember we were talking about it's not enough for them to just do the facelifts anymore. Remember I was saying they're actually wearing the skin. Remember I was saying they're actually getting actual skin. And I'm hearing they're getting skin grafts from younger ones. They're getting skin grafts. I don't know how that works, but this is what is going on in Hollywood. This is what's going on in Hollywood. So this is just the beginning of Donut Gate and of this psychic investigation. But make no mistake about it. There is an entity that is not only attached to the donut, but is attached to literally our food, the food that is unnatural. When they start to the genetic modification that they make, that's how you get the entity. That is what I channeled. When they do the genetic modification, they don't just modify it in a way where it's literally just that, but just done a certain way. Maybe they do a little shortcut in the growing process. No, when I'm telling you, they start to add other DNA. You eating an apple, it could have DNA of an animal in there. It could have DNA of an entity, is what I'm saying. This is, I know the only thing I saw the eggs and I saw the donuts. But I'm just saying, if your food doesn't taste right, if it doesn't spot up like it used to, if it's overly sweet and injected in with a bunch of additives and stuff, I'm just saying that what they're adding is creating attachment. So a lot of people have attachments from the food, y'all. And that was a wild message to get, because this actually showed up in a client session where there was an entity attachment, and it came through a certain vegetable started in a past life, but also she's still eating those vegetables in this life. It came from that. So that's just another data point that this food can cause attachments too, because the food, especially here in America, it's bad. It's bad. So I just wanted to say that. Now, I want to see if I can do an automatic drawing here for Kris Jenner. And I want to see who would like to talk. And I'm going to need a moment to kind of go ahead and facilitate this, guys. So I'm going to get to some of your, read some of your comments first, and then we'll go into the automatic drawing here. Welcome in, Buffalo Wild Wings, Flowers, Michelle, Quantum, FX, RX. Yes, they will all be revealed. Yes, we are waking up, guys. They can't hide. Someone says, so disgusting, corrupt, big time. Yes. And I'm telling you, it's all being done under the tunnels, under these places. I'm not saying it's every Dunkin' Donuts. Of course not. But I'm telling you, the ones in these cities that have been known for panhandling kids and all of that, I'm just saying, just be careful. Diddy was the fall guy. Diddy was the fall guy. Absolute fall guy. They threw him under the bus, under the free bus. Yes, absolutely. He'll be out soon. Yep, he and they're just taking walks on his cell phone and all of that. So trust me, I think he'll be okay. It's insane how young she looks for 70. Doesn't she look like she got a baby's face? Someone tell me, doesn't she look like she got baby skin? She's wearing baby skin. She's looking younger than Kim Kardashian. Seriously. Nicole Kidman, someone said, Beyond Evil. Yes. Yep. That's what Celine Dion. Yes. Celine Dion got cut off from, you know, her what? Her handler. Celine Dion must have made these people in Hollywood mad, because they have not given her her fix. And to be honest, I shouldn't even be joking about this because this stuff is so disgusting. I think that sometimes we can make light of a serious situation because it's so heavy to really think about of what if we really sat here and was like, look what they're doing to our kids. But not only are they doing that, but they are literally dividing them up. They're taking, and I'm hearing the children have a form of loosh too. They have special loosh, and that's why they need them. This is source channeling this. They have special kind of loosh, and that's why they need them. In addition to the adrenal, you know what, right? That's a separate thing, but they have a special kind of loosh when they, and you know, when they harm them, when they end them. Okay, guys, this is going to be graphic. So please, if you don't want to stick around for this part, I'm going to start to channel some images. This is going to get graphic. And so if you don't want to be around for this part, just check back in a few minutes. But let me stay right here where I am. I'm in the party. I'm remote viewing. Hold on. I'm going to make a more clear connection. I see a house and it's like really white. And what sticks out to me is the windows they're just very nice windows and a very interesting kind of shape. It's still like a window shape, but it's just kind of the architecture on it is just very, very well done. So it's like a white house and has a lot of windows. And I think the roof is like kind of like a charcoal gray or even black, it's dark. And I see people with, champagne and, all of that just hanging around poolside and inside and, everywhere. And the lighting is really, really nice. And there's flowers, right? And now I want to ask something. Okay. And so then, like, it appears like, I'm not going to say it's a costume party because it's not a costume party, but I see people, like, they'll be talking to someone and all of a sudden really quickly, they'll like show their real form, like just a glimpse of it. And it's a place where they can do that, but they still don't do it overtly, where they're just like, I'm a reptilian, let it all hang out. No. It's not done like that. Everything has a decorum to it. So they might engage conversation with someone and then they will know to show it a little bit, and so I see like half of the face with a little bit of scales, left side, a little bit of scales down here on this part, and it doesn't cover the whole face. It just feels like it's a flash of like a glimpse of it, and then it glitches back, so it's just kind of like some scales here. And I think I'm seeing Kris Jenner, right? So the scales, right? And it only shows up here, like this part, right? So this is what I'm seeing. So now I'm looking into some sort of like gilded part, like basement. So now it might get a little gory. So please, if you don't want to stick around for this part, this is where spirit leads me. It feels as if it's like underground or basement level. And it feels as if like almost as if I were to go into like a freezer, like a walk-in freezer, right? But it doesn't feel, the interesting part about it is the temperature feels not cold, which is interesting because it's like if you would to take a donut, I don't know what else to say. I'm going to use donut in replace of child because that's I guess that's what I need to say. But if you were to take a donut and dismember it, you would think that it would be done in a cool, like a cold place, but I don't feel the temperature is cold, and this could be the temperature of the like entities, because entities, they carry heat, you know. But it looks like a place that you would slaughter animals. And there is drippage, a lot of drippage, blood, a lot. It's a lot. And yeah, and that's it really, and it's a very esoteric way that they have the donuts hanging. It's not in a normal way. It feels as if it's like tilted, like let's say there's a hand here, like the body is turned. The body is turned to like probably that 33 degrees, right? We kept channeling, and the hands are like, so it's very ritualistic, right? Is what I'm seeing. And I see a lot of drippage, and I want to just keep saying drippage because it feels as if it's interesting. You would think that the drippage would be going into something, right? I do see it going into some sort of like pan, but then also too, it's almost as if they are purposely wanting the other part that's dripping to not get into the pan. So I don't know why they want some on the floor, but it's just a lot of that. And I see right now a rib. I see a rib of a 10-year-old. Wow. Hmm. I'm getting the game Duck Duck Goose. So I don't know if that was a game. Now, mind you, I don't know if what I'm seeing, I can't tell you for sure that it's at this party, but Spirit brought me into this scene. So I want to explore it of what it is that I'm seeing. But make no mistake about it. It's like if you were to slaughter an animal and have it hanging up and dismember it, and this part goes here and there. That's what it looks like. But I'm also hearing Duck Duck Goose as I tap into, I see this 10-euro donut kind of hanging and the ribs stick out to me. And then there's that game. Remember that game Duck Duck Goose? I'm not sure how that goes. Duck Duck Goose. This is because I'm asking myself, like, how did this donut get into this position? I heard Duck Duck Goose. So I think this is part of the loosh part where they frighten, because let's say 10 kids are sitting in a circle, right? And then you go duck, duck, goose. If I'm not mistaken, I'm trying to remember the way the game goes. And it's like they used a child's game, like a process of elimination to see who gets picked for the donut skinning, is what I'm saying. So I'm reading the instructions of the game. It says, a classic children's game where players sit in a circle while one person, walks around tapping the head and saying duck until they choose and say goose. The person they call goose then stands up to chase it around the circle. If it reaches the empty spot before being tagged, the goose becomes the new it. So this is the game that they use. So I guess the goose would then stand up and chase the first, you know, the it around. And if it reaches the empty seat before they're touched or tagged, then basically the goose is now safe. The goose now becomes the new it. But if it doesn't, if you get tagged, then that's when they take you for the donut skinning. That was coming through very, very, very clearly. This is sick. You're literally using a child's game to taunt these donuts. I hear a few people talking. Like I heard someone say yard watch. So someone has to play yard watch. So watching from the perimeters of the building or house or whatever. So, and mind you guys, the sick part about this is they do this at these parties. So now I'm getting confirmation. It's done during these parties. Like there's like a party upstairs and then downstairs, it's literally torture, is what I'm saying. And then it's like the music is what drowns out the screams of the donuts, is what I'm saying. And I'm getting very heavily, Diddy is heavily invested. I wanted to say involved, but I'm getting a strong invested into this. Now, this could be invested with money or just a invested interest in this. He's heavily invested in this. And now I'm so sorry. This is taking a turn. I guess it is Diddy that wants to talk. He's invested in it. And in fact, it feels as if this is the company he was running and someone is still running it. I think Kris Jenner is tapped into, I wanted to say tied into, but it feels like Kris Jenner was tapped. When Diddy went in, Kris Jenner was tapped to take this part of that over because it's a larger operation that is being ran, like, I don't want to say under the table, but all these celebrities know about it. It's only like under the table and hidden for us, right? And so this is how she gets more heavily involved in it. And it's probably too much for her. That's why I saw her in all black. And somehow she's tied to Diddy being in jail too. Ooh. So nevertheless, this is what Diddy does. So Diddy ain't had a hit since Biggie. Diddy has not had no hit since Diddy. How was Diddy getting all this money? Think about it, y'all. Diddy had not had a solid hit since Biggie Smalls was alive. Since the early 2000s. Yeah, he tried his hand in making the band and stuff, but that was a TV show done by MTV. Like, no, that's not going to produce that type of money. I am telling you, this is what that's his job. And the elites, they work with him. These people weren't confused when he went on trial. He was never going to be, like I said, he was always going to get out of this. He was never going to be, because literally, yeah, they threw him under the bus, but they just gave him a little smack on the finger in comparison to the life sentence. So what I'm saying is this. Who's Larry Hoover? Who's Larry Hoover? I don't know. So what I'm saying is this is his business. This is how he's getting paid. He's being funded by everyone who needs their fix. And it gets, y'all, it gets deeper than that. Because what do you think they do to the donuts after? Every part is accounted for. I'm telling you guys, 15 years ago or so, 10, 15 years, a long time, God told me not to eat McDonald's. They got donut meat. They do. I'm not just donut, I mean human. I mean, and manipulated, you know, like other animals in there too, like horse. It's just all a collage of it. So that's where these go. How you think they can offer the 99-cent burgers at all these joints? If you go to another country, you taste a burger, tastes totally different. When I eat burgers in Canada, tastes totally different. Totally different. You go to the UK, burgers are totally different. To the point where you don't even want to eat them because they taste too natural. You're like, this don't taste like America's burger. Yeah, because America's burger ain't America's burger. You know, is not. And this is the evil, sick, sadistic stuff that they do. And that's why I'm telling you, when it's like when America has a problem, they literally see they don't want us guys to just be all clean and they're all dirty. No. Misery loves company. So they force us into their sick rituals so that this is how they think they're going to escape the karma. Oh, it's the lay of the land. Everybody's doing it. Yeah, but some people are doing it unknowingly. They don't know that what they're eating isn't meat, isn't animal meat. They force us into fulfilling their sick and demented, you know, ways about themselves. So that is where it goes. And remember, I was talking to you guys about the shadow in the last video, where I was saying that our shadow is literally revealing the entity that is, I want to say attached to humanity, but we know it as Yaldabaoth, the false god. You know, you could do some research on that. I've spoken about it for years. Yaldabaoth, the false god of this humanity, right? And essentially, he literally has to manipulate your DNA, you know, in order to get you into these earth suits and into compliance, right? But nevertheless, this is the false god, but it's part of your code in a way. So when I tell you the shadow that you see is part of, they can't hide. And notice how you can only see, you normally see the shadow at night, right? Because at nighttime is when things can get revealed, especially spiritually. So this is what I'm saying. When I tell you we're going to start seeing these entities, that's how they're going to look. They're going to show up like a shadow. That's how you're going to view them. You might see, I call them spiritual slugs. I see like spiritual slugs. So if someone's house is spiritually dirty, like I'll see like little spiritual slugs, like crawling in the you know, corners, walls, stuff like that. So it's always good to do a spiritual cleanse on your house too, every so often. But we're going to see, you're going to see these things because the shadow is part of the fourth dimension. Like literally, see, everything comes down from the higher realms and then it casts a shadow. Well, it casts a shadow in the 3D. So literally, we are living under a shadow. So it makes sense what they say we have a shadow government, because literally, we are literally living under the shadow of beings in the fourth dimension. So when I tell you guys, everyone is linked into this stuff and how they reinforce it, even when you try to get free, you fast, you meditate and all of that, they will reinforce this thing with your daily bread, with your food, with the music, with all the nonsense and all the lower field energy. And even the politics is demonic. All of it is demonic because they have to, in order for you to actually be a vibrational match to anything separate than group consciousness, they have to lower your field. So the very fact that we can hold the vibration of a Democrat or a Republican or a this or a that naturally means we are in a lower field that is literally operating outside of the guise of group collective consciousness, which is where we are supposed to be. That's the new earth vibration, is when we all collectively get onto one accord into group consciousness, right? And this is when, like, we reach nirvana. When we reach nirvana, then that happens, right? So this is what I'm saying. Look at the hand behind her. What have I been saying in the last psychic investigation about the hands? Why did Erica Kirk have to show the hands? Why is this hand? Do you think this is a mistake? I used to work in Hollywood. Do you think that this picture of Kris Jenner is a mistake? No, it's not a mistake. Because I used to work in Hollywood, started off as production assistant, worked for, I mean, everybody, CBS and just so much, guys. And then I went into producing, right? So everything, when I tell you as a producer and as a production manager, everything is accounted for, down to if the scene that we're shooting needs a pen, and the pen needs to have a cap that can easily go on and off. You see this, I would actually switch this pen out if I was like in charge of getting everything ready for that scene, because it's not as fluid as I need it to be. So this is what I'm saying. Everything, even down to a pin, has to be in place. It has a mark. We tape things off. You guys can't see it, but we tape things off. The actors have their marks. They step on it. We have a mark for certain. It's all rehearsed. I'm going to go 3 steps to the right here. Then I'm going to zigzag here, step on my mark with the X. It's always there. And everything we need for the scene is there. And we always do literally, like, we will pre-shoot in a way where, so Kris Jenner is standing there in front of this, backdrop, right? For whatever event that she's at. But there's lights ahead, there's lights on the side. Someone has already come through and did the, with their hand, already come through and tested out the shots and the angle. And in fact, I'm going to give you guys a secret here. You don't just shoot the camera. No, you have a storyboard of how it goes. So you're going to say, I want a medium wide shot here because I want the audience to see the surroundings, right? I want them to understand that this character is in danger. So give me a medium wide shot so they can see. And then the audience will start to think, girl, look at that car over there. It looks a little creepy. Look at this man over here. He looked a little crazy, right? If you just had a tight shot, you wouldn't be able to see all that. So everything's scripted. And sometimes we do a long shot where literally it just gives the audience an overview of literally like the environment. And then sometimes we do a close-up, but then sometimes we need to do a tight close-up if we want to get what? We want to get the actor's reaction, right? Of how literally we want to bring the audience into the world of the actor, how they're feeling. So we'll do a tight close-up. So I'm saying all of this to say that none of this stuff is by accident. Every step is accounted for. And this is what I'm saying. That picture was absolutely accounted for. Because why didn't she take a picture in the space that was white? Look how the red hand is like right above her head, almost as if it's a freaking Grand Reaper or something. I'm just saying, y'all. Like, why were the hands literally coming up in the last psychic investigation? And remember, I was like, Candace Owens has something to say, but I can't make it out. Like, her soul was talking. I'm trying to pick up on the frequency, right? But I'm telling you, she was showing me the hands. And I was like, the message is not all the way here yet. I am telling you, there's something going on with the hands. And look, the hand is red. The hand is bloody. It's the hand that rocks the cradle, girl. This is the hand that rocks the cradle. It's bloody, but it's interesting enough. You can't make it up. On November 5th, her birthday, when I saw an image of her in all black, she's wearing all black here, and she was going through some sort of metal detector. Everyone had on black. The black is the secrecy, right? The black is the underground, it's the part you don't want someone to see. It's the incognito, right? That's the energy, right? But there is I want to call it a snare or a smear with that red. When I was talking about the shadow, just on the greater white humanity, the shadow is the fourth dimension casting down. We are literally shadows of fourth dimension, but we're now going to be able to now go into our fourth dimensional status because we are literally rising in frequency and becoming more enlightened. We're going to start to see the shadows. This handprint is, to me, representing of that, the things that you can't see. And the children, Why did it's all the donuts? It's all bloody and it's all gory. And whose hand is that in the back? That's what I want to ask. Whose hand is that? Now, obviously, this is an adult's hand, but these adults are mocking the donuts, is what I'm saying. What I just described to you guys in that scene that I remote viewed, you don't think they did a little more duck, duck, goose? Taking parts here and there, still allowing the game to go on, is what I'm saying. You don't think there wasn't donut hands all in red like that? And now this is behind her. What did I say in the channeling? That she is behind the donut. She's literally working for the government. She literally is taking over Diddy's thing while he is doing time for them. So it's two-part. Remember I said that it felt like in the scene with All Black, that it felt like two parts. Like part of it was she was being judged. And then I saw her literally fainted or passed out in some capacity. And the hands were very important because her hands were, I'm hearing her hands are corrupt, is what source is saying. Her hands are corrupt. So I'm just describing to you guys, ain't nothing by accident. That red hand is blood. She has blood on her hands. And now she better watch her back, is what I'm saying. And you can just say this is a photo. But see, even if it's just a photo, even if the photographer knew nothing about this, I know the source codes. The source codes are always literally, the source codes, when you put them together, it literally transcends all of this. It transcends time. So it wouldn't even matter, even if the person who took the photo had no idea, but source codes know, the source knows, the source codes know. There isn't any way to hide it. There isn't. So this is two parts. This is judgment. Everything that these people are doing are coming back to judge them and to haunt them in this season. And you know what's funny? I couldn't make this out. I couldn't make it out, but you can't make it up. I was just called to use a red pen. All of this is in red. And you can't even make it up that that hand behind her isn't all red. So we are definitely tapping into something. Yo. Yo, I don't know. I might be tripping on this one. Hold on. Take a look at this. These squares look like pizza squares. This one down here, these lines, they look like pizza. And then there's one here. That looks like a pizza square. I've never drew anything like this in any of my other automatic drawings. Let me take a look at it. Also, too, there's something going on with Kris Jenner's crown. It's inverted. We have some sort of inversion, not necessarily upside down like how it was for Candace Owens, but girl, dang, if I turn this upside down, girl, this look cray-cray. Woo, we might have to examine this upside down too. So you guys know I divide the paper into three. If you can't see it, do not worry. I will describe this to you, okay? So I divide the paper into three. So the top part is going to be from the neck up. The second part will be like the whole body, like torso. And then the last third is going to be like from the hips down, right? The legs, rather. So this will be like her head, right? There's something on her head, right? And look, that's a very interesting shape. And if you turn it around, it's a triangle. So if we were to flip it, That's a triangle. But if we were to also flip it, now we get a face. Let's not dig into that yet. Let's just stay here. What's above her head? There is this inversion of the triangle, which stands for, literally Masonic order. Candace Owens, this showed up in Candace Owens' field as well, as Candace Owens is crossed out and they were siphoning the energy up to this organization. I don't know if she knows it or if she does, but that's what was happening, but let's stay on this. Kris Jenner is having, this thing is flipped upside down. So it's either they are restructuring, she is having her own come to Jesus moment, like, can I really do this? Because remember, she is the madame. She's working for, literally, it's high level. She's the monarch, she's the madame, and she's pushing donuts. That's what she's pushing. I thought it was going to be women, but no, it's a lot more sinister than what we thought. Oh, and let me say this before we dive into this. Let me say this. I saw an image of Northwest earlier when I was preparing for this. And she had these goggles on, right? So I posed a question, do the children know? I posed a question, do the children know? And I saw an image of Northwest and then one of Blue Ivy. So the image of Northwest came in very, very clear. Northwest, her energy, she was right here, right up front. She was just showing up really, really big in my frame, in my mind. And she was just standing off to the side. She had these goggles on, see-through goggles. She was kind of looking up. And then someone taped a paper towel on top of her goggles, right? So if you think about a paper towel, if you only have one paper towel, you can still kind of see. So when I was posing the question to Source, I'm like, do these children know this? Do they see? I mean, they're kind of exposed to a lot of things, at an early age. And so Source showed me that Northwest, for instance, they try to cover her eyes. However, she's wearing clear goggles. So if you think about goggles, if you go into a lab, right, and you work with chemicals, you would need goggles, right? But you would still need to be able to see. You need clear goggles. But yet, if the chemicals spill, you would be protected. That's what I'm saying. She's around it. She can see it, but there's a barrier between her getting harmed from it. So no, the children are not being harmed. Her children, her grandchildren, Kris's grandchildren. But it had a paper towel, like someone just put a paper towel on top. It means they're trying to hide it from her, but she can still see. But she has to really focus and put the pieces together, because if you look at a paper towel, you can see kind of slightly, right? But nevertheless, you can still see. So then that's what's going on with, kind of Northwest, right? But then, what's her name? Blue Ivy was a little bit different. Blue Ivy's energy does not engage, right? Blue Ivy's energy is very far back, as of North was kind of like a close-up, right? Like a medium close-up. And as of, Blue Ivy's is kind of like a little bit longer shot, right? In the background. And so I posed the question, does she know? And Blue Ivy was just I think she was like in a room or something, like really not doing much of anything, but she didn't have any sort of protection on her eyes or anything. But all I saw was a blue flash in the scene where Blue Ivy was. And this reminded me of when I was waking up in my early 20s. So I would see blue flashes of light, just at my house or whatever. And when I was, asking around about it and researching it, and it says that if you see blue light, that's literally you're seeing soul, that's your soul, is how I understood it. Back then, that was a long time ago, but that is what I saw in Blue Ivy's field. So she's not necessarily being shielded because she's not in it. They don't bring her into those spaces. However, the blue flashes of energy represented her soul is waking up to it. So she knows on a level, she knows. And I think this has something to do with her countenance. How Blue Ivy is a little bit more mature, right? A little bit more grown up and kind of, you know, very grown up, in fact, but still, you know, still respectful, but just very mature. Her soul is coming into the awareness, right? Which affects Blue Ivy's demeanor. So that is what I wanted to say about that, right? And so now, this is interesting. So this is the inversion of the Masonic triangle. Now, this is showing up on my left side. This is a road. It's leading somewhere. It is going up somewhere, and it's made out of a lot of wands, right? It looks like wands, at least. Like, I don't know, but it looks like wands and arrows all at the same time. But nevertheless, this is going up somewhere. This is on the left side. This energy is being siphoned up to something. And you guys know because you've been around. Normally, left side is being cycling up to some sort of entity, right? So also too, when I was drawing this, Kris Jenner soul made it a point that I could not go further than she really was about aligning this line here, right? So, you know, it was interesting. It's like, make a line here, but you can't go above here. Do you see what I mean? But there's something happening at the very top that we can't see yet. There's something happening in, I'm hearing, the negative spaces that we can't see yet. But that's where all of the orders are being handed down, is what I'm hearing and knowing. And they are literally they worship a lot of pagan gods. I'm seeing they'll go into these rooms, these like red lit rooms, and they'll have like markups of different deities from, like, you know, Egyptian time and this time, Greek a lot time. They'll have these different deities in these different rooms, and they can go in there and do worship and do sacrifice worship and things like that. They can do sex magic rituals in front of the god or the deity or whatever, with different people from the party, is what I'm getting. So all of that is happening, and they're calling it a negative space, right? So it's a space that the orders are coming up from something that you will never see, because this something is not human, right? That's what they're doing in these rooms, right? And so, and then this, I don't know, looks like some sort of barrier between the negative space and what is actually able to be shown. And so I'm going to go out on a limb and say that I probably need to turn the page over, because if someone wants to keep me from here, then they're probably not being forthcoming with what I'm seeing this way. So now I'm going to flip it, and now it's going to tell a larger story here. Let me take a look at it. Some very interesting things happening. Oh my God. Fudgesicles. No. No. Y'all, hold on. This reminds me of America. Now, I know it might be hard to see, but let me explain this. I'm getting this I got chills. This looks like a map of America, only squeezed in. Remember how I said last year that they're going to make the landscape of America squeezed in more, so that would be easier to control or to call something? This looks like a map of America that has been squeezed in, starting from here. This looks like this would be our Florida over here. It's reverted. So when I'm looking at it, I'm saying that's Florida. This will be like Florida, and this will either be like California or even Texas without California. Wait, we can look at this different. This could be without California included. We could be looking at Texas here, because look how wide this is. And then this could be Florida. It looks like California's missing. Please tell me I'm not crazy. Does anyone else see that? Does anyone else see that this looks like a map of America? But remember I said it's either squinched in or California is missing. And I could be tripping because I'm just drew it and looking at it like through the, through this lens. Please let me know. Does it look like, someone put in the chat if it looks like the full map of America or if it looks like California's missing? This is, you see Trump on the top of the picture? Oh, let me see. I wish that you could point out where. Okay. At the top, like here. You see Trump too? Guys, show me. Is he at the top, right, left, or middle? You see him too? Please show me where he's at. America, yes, and Trump. Okay. Now, does America have California attached or no? I could be tripping, y'all. Something is telling me that California's missing. This could be Texas, and therefore we would still be missing the part where the San Andreas fault line is. Map of Mexico. Okay. Someone said, okay, no Cali. That's what I'm saying. There ain't no Cali there. California's missing. We were channeling this earlier this year, that something would happen to California. So they're going to attack the coastal states. Yes. And remember, I was getting heavy attack in New York. And even though when the wildfires were happening last year, even though California was burning, my attention was at New York. Feels like New York has either, I'm hearing water damage, something with the water, or even their own fires, right? Or even just terrorist events, planes falling, something, gears not going down. I'm hearing gears and things not working when they're supposed to work, electrical stuff, stuff like that in New York. Okay, nose and chin. Okay, let me back up and see where Trump is. Middle of the triangle. Is that his hair? Oh, I see it. Wait, is this part his hair? That's his hair, this part? It's shaped like a heart of Mexico. I'm telling y'all, something is. Oh my goodness. You see Trump? Y'all, you guys are good. You guys are so good. I see the hair though. Oh my God. I also see Kris Jenner too. You guys remember the younger Kris Jenner? Yeah, that's the hair. Okay. You guys remember the younger Kris Jenner, right? Hold on. Remember she used to have a bob? Like, no, this is a new picture of her, but I'll show this to you guys. So let me share this, share the image. So look at Kris Jenner's hair here. Look at this little slope part up here. Look at that. And then look, it's a bob. Right? That is a beautiful, by the way, Jenner. That is beautiful. Okay. Look at this hairstyle, y'all. Look at this. Look at that hairstyle. I also see someone with the same hairstyle, and I'm going to show it to you guys. Look at that. Pay attention to this little top part here. Pay attention to that and the bob and where it hits. Now, look, There's a woman with a bob too. Look at the little top part of the hair, and then the hair goes like right here, right where that neckline. Do you guys see it? You guys see that? That also could, this also looks like, and then this part looks like a neck, like a little outline of a neck. Remember I said she was working for the government? Remember I said she working for the government. You can see it? So now we got Trump and we got her, and Spirit says she's working for the government. Yes, that's that little hair thing. This was Kris Jenner's old hairstyle. She used to wear all the time. Little bob here, and you can see her little neck here. Something is attached to her. Is that part of Trump attached? Something is attached to her. Do you guys think, someone kept mentioning Mexico, do you think they're getting children from Mexico too? Donuts, rather. They're getting donuts from Mexico too. I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff, when they were bringing over people, the people that were unaccompanied, you know, the minors that didn't have nobody with them, adults, I'm telling you, a lot of this stuff was to prey on the youth. So now let me continue to read. So now we can all see it. So the breastfeeding America, oh wow. There's a line in America. You notice there's some lines in America. This also could include Canada. This could be North America too. These lines. So if we were to, let's say this is Texas here, and let's say this part is Florida. There's a line here, maybe Oklahoma, up to, you know, those states, the Dakotas, you know, that are up there, Minnesota. These will all be up here. It's like it's being divided. Is America being divided, or are these their trade routes? I'm getting trade routes. These are their routes. If we look up, I'm not sure if this could be Canada. You know what I mean? Like, because you know how Canada kind of like, if you look at a map of America, it'll include Canada, right? It's North America. But there's just like, you know, nothing really going on there. But I'm just saying. Someone said, I think that the donuts were coming over from China in crates. Oh, God. I don't even want to. I didn't even eat yesterday. After I got that channel message, I didn't eat, not even nothing. I was just fasting the whole day. I was like, what is going on with our food? Literally, entities attached to them donuts, y'all. This is crazy. So someone said a breast. You guys see this much more than I can. I'm gonna go down to the bottom of the page, and then I'm sure we'll have to revisit this as well. Do you see how there's a face down here? This is showing up on the right, but look at the face. See, this is an entity. You know why I know? Because it's the glitch. It's like it's moving through dimensions. You see here, you know, and then here the face materializes. This is definitely either multi-dimensional or some sort of being that, you know, can travel in between dimensions. Yeah, that being is there. And I'm wondering where all these lines are leading. Now, if we look at this, remember she said, don't cross this line. When we had the page turned upright, that was negative space. And now this now becomes some sort of platform for this Masonic, and then whatever entity that they're sending their energy to from the draining blood that we channeled. But when it was here, she made a point to put this line way up here. And then this was like, remember I said I didn't know what this was. When I flip it over now, it becomes a foundation for all of this to happen. So there was a foundation built for the harming of the donuts. Someone built a foundation. Looks like the Democrats did. This is the foundation. Look, this is, now I understand this is purple pen, but you got red here. If you mix, what colors do you get? If you mix red and purple, what color is that? Something is telling me it's blue. Something is telling me this is representing blue, because we have red and we have purple, but this feels like I'm making a distinction between systems of control. Remember how I keep saying Democrats and Republicans are two sides of the same coin. They're just doing things from a different angle. So as of, the foundation was, let's say, laid down during the Biden administration or whoever administration, right? But nevertheless, when Trump comes in, when the Trumpians come in, they now can use what people thought. See, you see how it's opposite? And all of the stuff they're preaching, oh, it's opposite, and what they want, for America, that's not it. Come join this party and this is better. No, all of it is meant to put you in a certain box, because when they flip it, what the last administration does, how they always go in and they undo what the last one does? No, they don't. They go in, and the last one made a platform. They made a platform for whatever the new person will do, because none of this has to do with our sovereignty. It's all about how they can literally win the Game of Thrones and winner takes all. Right? But they're working on the same team. We thought they were separate. No, they are together, and they are against us. We are the party that has never actually had a representative. All of us, we've never had a representative for the real humans, We've never had that. We've just had a bunch of different entities wearing different colors. That's it. And this thing is eating the pizza. It's these entities, it's the entities that want this stuff. So look, we got the entity here, this multi-dimensional entity. This is the Mason stuff. This is the platform. The Democrats left them the blueprint for this. Then we get all this energy here. And look, it's going up to this, looks like a pizza. The entities are the ones that need the loosh from the donuts, is what I'm saying. Because if you think about it, why would a human being need that and want that and even be attracted to that? Because they have the entity is who they are feeding. They have to feed their dark lords. They are feeding their dark lords, and this is what their dark lords want. They need it. Remember how I said that the entities now, they're coming for flesh. It's not just enough to have the loosh, right? The emotional energy from us. What's happening now, because the portals are opening and we're also now becoming conscious and attuned to them, they want to eat actual flesh in this final season. That is, what they want. And this is what this thing has been getting fed. And so now it answers the question of why I was shown that scene, right? With the donut, because they used it to feed their dark lord, dark gods, whatever gods in those different rooms that they pray to, get off on. This thing tells them to do certain things, and then they have to do it. And you're thinking, well, why would they do that? Because they are embodied with it. And not only that, everyone's in on it, and everyone has, literally, it's just like the Diddy tapes. The reason why, did we hear a tape? Did we hear any of those tapes? Did we hear a tape? Did we hear tapes? No, because it has demonic stuff on it. It has stuff on there that literally will. You thought Charlie put a tear in our reality, baby? They would have blew the whole thing wide open. That is why. That's why we never see it. So that's what's going on. And man, this is Kris Jenner, man. I'm sorry. That's Kris, baby. That's your hair, baby. You can't hide. That is that haircut. That's that haircut. You are in this pizza. Look, she is in this thing. She's in this pizza. She is the madame of it. She is pushing and peddling this pizza. She is pushing and peddling it at pellet. My spidey senses. Hold on. I said pellet. I said she's pushing this pellet. And I'm looking up pellet, what that is. Pellet. It says it can be fuel, compressed biomass material. It could be animal feed, small compressed balls of food for pets. It could be medicine, small compressed tablets, slow release medicine. It can be small metal or lead objects fired from a gun, right? It could be bird pellets, bird food. Do you get where I'm going with this? You see what source is throwing down? Lord, I didn't even know it would get like this. You see what source is throwing down? Said that this thing, guys, subscribe to the channel, please. Like the video, please. Yo, I said she's pushing them pellets. She's pushing them pellets. That's Kris Jenner. She's trying to hide in the background. She is in the middle of the whole pizza. And Trump is up there too, because she's working for the government. And what are they doing with all the waste? They're feeding the animals. And that's how the animals have the human DNA. They're feeding people to these feeds. Pigs, I'm hearing, possibly chickens. They're chopping the stuff up into pellets, and that's how they're getting rid of the evidence. That's why we can't find a bunch of, just bodies around, because they are chopping the stuff up and putting it into feed for animals. This is what I'm saying. And that's why the FDA said, baby, I can show you better. I can tell you. Hold on. So that's why the FDA allows a little bit of human DNA, like into, like when they're checking, products, they allow a little bit of human DNA. It's coming from these donuts and people that they are making pellets, small, like feed for animals. Do you see how the source codes, like when I said that word, when I slipped up and said it, sometimes you just slip up and you say the wrong word, but then it has an energy. I caught the frequency of it. I was like, nah, this frequency is something, right? And so then I looked it up. So this is like how this is happening in all of our lives. It's just that you got to be in tune to the frequencies and the energy and everything around you to catch it. But literally we live in a sea of source codes. They're all around us. Yeah, guys. This is a shame. This is a shame. Oh, Lord Jesus. I wanna something else here. Okay, something, and I'm gonna go ahead and add this now, because I was led earlier, this lines here, I was led earlier that these lines were different and that I was making a separation line. That's why I put those arrows there. But I'm going to go ahead and make them a different color really quickly because I think that it's important. Look, why does this pretty much align, this thing here align to this entity's mouth? Y'all, you can't make this up. Y'all, please, someone subscribe to the channel and like the video. This is crazy. Wait, do you guys see this? Look at the mouth of this entity. And I'm telling you, when I was drawing this, something said these lines are divisionary lines. The energy field is being cut off. This is what they're doing to humanity. This thing is eating. It is about to eat this. This is what they do to humanity. They clip our field. So what they'll do is they'll throw out these fear bombs, like the Charlie Kirk situation was to literally get us fighting. Look at all the racism and Nazism is back. That happened, and they took away the food. Remember last year I said that they were going to target our food, and they have. Like, all of these things are coming into place now. I said Trump would be viewed as a dictator and a tyrant, and yes, he is. So just goes to show you that we literally have the source codes. We've been right on it. We've been right on it. So they will clip our energy fields, force us into these energetic grids for feasting, for harvesting, and now we can see it in real time of what's happening here. So this entity is able to eat because through energy and through our emotions, it literally allows dense pockets of energy. And so when that kind of coils up, they get enough of that. They just come in and siphon, right? And so now, look at this too. These are divisionary lines. I'm wondering if they're siphoning from stuff going on here in these middle states here, or if they have us in different energy grids. So like, you know, Florida got a field, you know, Texas has a field, Middle America has a field, you know, northern states has a different energy field. And it's just set up for these entities to siphon. That's it. That's it. Ooh, are we gonna, you know, it's getting quite interesting. Ooh, Lord. So guys, we're gonna revisit this because we're barely getting started. We really have not getting started. So Buffalo Wild Wings says a triangle at the bottom almost looks like a circus tent. Oh yeah, yeah, yep. I'm trying to look at it this way too. Well, I said in the beginning, this is an inverted. So yeah, makes sense. Makes a lot of sense when I turn it over. It is a circus. This is their Delulu world. It's all Delulu. So we're going to continue to look at this, continue to look at Trump and Kris Jenner and see, you know, where else this thing leads us to. You agree, Sonia? Looks like that. And so someone said upside down, the top looks like the Denver airport. Really? Which has many underground tunnels. Woo! In the crown. Oh. Like here? I'll just let you guys stare at the top of it. So you can pause it if you want to. That way you guys can just pause it if you want to look at it. Yeah, it's getting interesting. Princess Pizza, someone says. Someone says you were so right. Blue color, blue elixir. Oh, or that could be the heartbeat. Oh, or like the tidal wave. Wow. Hi, Master Light. Beautiful evening. Remember the houses that had the blue paint on them did not burn. I'm telling you, you can't make it up. Yeah, reddish purple. Okay. Yep. But Spirit said this is blue. It's just that I just used purple, but just pointing out the difference of the two sides of the same coin, right? That we are engaged with here. I see a volcanic eruption. Yep. At the top, right? And something's about to pop off in this Hollywood. And if you look, here's another perspective. Kris Jenner's in the middle of the pizza, but this looks like fire around her. She's cornered. There's no place to go. So I'm telling you, that meeting, that was a meeting that they called. Everyone had to be there. And she was literally the guest of honor or what have you. Because there's something going on with her. I think she's going to be, I don't want to say they're looking into her heavily. And maybe they will throw her under the bus, or maybe they will do something else, ask a little bit more demonic things from her. Maybe it started off innocent enough because she didn't have to see it or touch it. But now the ditties and the pen, like she's up close and personal is what I'm saying. One second, guys. Someone said, so the entity looks like an old depiction of the moon. Oh, thank you for the code. Oh, I just got some codes in. Oh my God. Codes are coming into my phone. I got someone sending me codes. Oh my God. So remember how I was talking about when the 3-eye atlas comes, it's going to set up shop and be a permanent fixture in our skies, almost like the moon. Remember when I said that? Even if we don't see it, it's going to be letting off, like I said, some sort of, I don't want to call it necessarily radiation. It feels like radiation, but it feels like something cosmic, something I don't necessarily have the word for, but radioactive. It'll be radioactive. And also it's for surveillance as well, surveillance. And this really does look like the moon man from back in the day. You know, you see like an image of the face in the moon, you know? So is the moon an entity, y'all? Woo! Is the moon an entity? Someone put in the chat if you think the moon is an entity. If you think the moon is an entity, the moon just may be an entity. Because I'm telling y'all, they're these creepy crawlies. We're going to be seeing it. We are going to be seeing it. The Arctic is on top and wind is on the bottom. Woo! So if I hold should I hold the page this way for so the wind is on the bottom. Is this the Arctic? And is this the wind? So this is upright. Or is this the Arctic? And is this the wind? Man in the moon, yeah. And guys, I never finished the Antarctica. We got to go back to that because remember I said I got to get the coordinates? Well, literally since our last psychic investigation talking about Antarctica, I saw a video and someone has an encyclopedia from back in the 1950s where they actually gave the coordinates of the firmament that is above, not like literally the Antarctica region. Antarctica, like the, you know, square meters and stuff, but then also too, they co-signed the firmament or some sort of like dome. So we're going to have to go back into that, of course, as well. Hi, Sean. Yes, y'all, this is deep. Warm winds from the south, someone says. Both parties are the same. Look, a battery, negative and positive. Yeah, like a battery, negative and positive, but still the battery's the same objective, right? Destroying control, right? Yeah. And here's a tidbit about the government shutdown. And a lot of people was like, oh, it's just Trump. Well, the Democrats were also using it because there was something that they wanted to get. So they were using the fact that there was pressure to reopen the government. So they were using it to get some things that they wanted passed. So they were willing to throw the American people under the bus to not like eat, and the disabled people that are on benefits, so that they can get whatever it is that they want. Some sort of sanctions. I'm hearing sanctions that they want. So they're just, this ain't about us, that's about them. We ain't never had a candidate, a human up in there. Just know, we've never had someone that was sovereign and not being controlled. Even if they don't know they're being controlled. Do you know that the president doesn't even have like the #1 tier of access? Because he doesn't need to know. Everything's on a need to know basis. Doesn't need to know certain things. He just gets briefed. So these, you know, the presidents can't really do that much for us because they don't even have access to everything. All they got is a bunch of men telling them stuff, and then they get up and they read a speech or two, and that's it. They're the face, you know? Oh, y'all. I am getting overworked, okay? So we're going to go ahead and allow this video to be what it was for today, but we will continue on with this psychic investigation because it's getting deep. It's getting crazy. Kris Jenner, she is not knowing where to go and what to do. Her hands are tied. Literally, her hands are tied. And I saw her passing out. So we're going to keep this going, guys. Thank you so very much, guys. Thank you so much. Hold on. Let me see if there's more source codes coming in. Oh, wow. Yes, I see it. So I see it so clearly. Yes, I see it. I see this very clearly. It's like the man in the mirror, girl. That's what it looks like. I'm telling you, this thing is an entity, the moon. Yep. Guys, like the video, subscribe to the channel, guys. Support me, help me grow. Let's get to 10K subscribers, please. Let's get to 8K first and then parlay that right on the 10K. This has been such a beautiful evening. And if you guys missed it, you can watch the replay. It's been a beautiful evening, guys. And please do book a session, your own quantum telepathic reading with remote healing with me, guys, and purchase the book. It's going to be on Amazon. There will be some links down below. And is there anything else that I want to say? Not much. I just love you guys so very much, okay? One second. I love you guys. And so it is. Welcome, guys.